Okay, so I have a question for you guys. So you guys know I have a daughter, right? You guys know that? Okay, so she is 4 years old. She's gonna be 5. Okay, and she's gonna start. Hold on, baby. I'll let you answer. She is gonna be going to school. So I'm trying to decide what school to send her to, and I'm in between 2 schools. One of them they wear uniform. The other does not wear uniform. And I want you guys to think about, I want to get your opinion because you guys are actually like kids that go to school and you guys have an opinion, right? Because we all go to school. So today that's what we're kind of going to talk about, okay? So keeping that in mind, I want you guys to think, okay, how do we develop our opinions and how do we put those into words, okay? Yes, Adrian.
So, that question about God,
Uh-huh.
we're doing
I can't understand.
I'll be doing like our opinion answer now?
No, not yet. So I'm gonna go through a lesson. I'm gonna show you guys like what opinion writing is, how do we develop it, how do we go a strategy for opinion writing, and we'll go through it together. Okay? Is that good?
Yeah.
Okay. So what is opinion writing? So before I do that, I'm gonna pass out these handouts. So these are your active notes, okay? Take one, pass it back. Okay, so everybody should have a pen out or a pencil. So we're gonna go through these together, right? So we all have our papers? Yes? Everybody have one?
Need one?
You need one?
We have extra.
Don, can you pass them to Victoria, please? Thank you. Ready?
Yeah.
Okay. So can somebody tell me what this looks like? Yes, Jose. Okay. But what does the setup of my notes look like?
2 column notes.
Okay. So then what should we do when we have 2 column notes? What do we do first? Uriah.
The name and the date?
No, we're gonna fold it in half, right? So we fold our 2 column notes in half, right? Junior, we're gonna fold our paper in half. Okay? Yes, it is.
So this is Oreo because in 4th grade, when we did this opinion writing, we called it Oreo.
Oh yeah? Okay, good. So then this is a review for you, right? On something you already know. So then you're gonna be my expert then today, right? Okay. So do you see how my notes are set up to where I can see what the heading is? Right? And then so I have my title for my notes, I have my 2 headings, and then we're gonna go through this together, right? So as we go through the slides, I want you guys to we're gonna write together, but I also want you guys to actively write in your notes, okay? So that in the future we can use this as a reference. Whenever I tell you guys, okay, I want you guys to write an opinion piece. What should the first thing that we do be? Pull out our notes, right, Dominic? Okay, good. So what is opinion writing? Zoe, do you wanna read this for me? Do you wanna read this out loud for me? No? Dominic?
A piece of writing that requires your opinion on a topic.
Okay, so right, that's what I'm asking you guys. I want you guys to tell me your opinion of what you guys think. Should I send her to the school that wears uniform, or should I send her to the school that doesn't wear uniform, right? So. Okay. So, what is the purpose of opinion writing? Can somebody tell me? Juan.
A piece of, no.
You don't know?
It's like maybe like what you think about it.
Okay, that's a good guess. So an opinion piece seeks to persuade the reader of the writer's point of view. So you know how earlier in this week we talked about technology, right? Like, is technology good for students, or is it harmful for students, right? So the reader listed what? Different
Opinions.
Yes, right? And how did he support it?
By putting facts about it.
Yes, okay, good. So that's what we're gonna talk about today, okay? So, how do Oreos and opinion writing go together? Okay. So, I actually brought you guys something because I want you guys to see the difference, okay? Yeah. Let's focus. Let's focus on what we're doing. Okay. So we all know that there are two types of Oreos, right? We know that there are two types of Oreos. There's a regular Oreos and then we have, okay. So we have regular Oreos and we have double stuffed, right? So which one's better? Why is it better?
Because it has more cream. It has more cream.
Okay, good. So when we think of our opinion writing, I want you guys to think about Oreos, okay? I want you guys to think about how we want to have a lot of filling in the middle, okay? So as we go through our strategies and we're following our notes, I want you guys to think about that, okay? So going back to what we read about earlier this week, we talked about this topic, right? Right? We went over this? So is technology harmful for students? Helpful or harmful for students, right? So we know about this. Thomas, are you listening? So what is the O in Oreo stands for what?
Opinion.
Good. So where are we gonna write that on our notes? Okay, good. So so O is for opinion. So O in Oreos for opinion. This is where you're gonna clearly state your opinion, okay? So can somebody give me an example going back to thinking, is technology hurtful or harmful for students? Yes, Christopher.
In my opinion, technology is both of them.
You have to pick one side.
Good.
Hurtful or harmful? No, you were doing it right. Yeah, you were doing it good. So
Because it helps you with.
no, we're not asking for a reason. I just want you to state your opinion.
Okay, in my opinion, technology is good
Is helpful
or helpful for people.
for students? Okay. Okay, good. So that's exactly what we have here, right? So I believe, or how Christopher said it, in my opinion, technology, so we should be writing this, right? Technology, under our example, is helpful for students. Period. Right? Yeah? Okay. No? Okay. Yeah? We're good? Okay. So moving on. So what comes next? The R, right? The R in the Oreo stands for? Good. So you guys have done this before? Yeah? Okay, good. So in the R, we give a what? That's right. So where are we gonna write that? No, we skipped it. Okay. Because we did. R is for reason. So how would we state our reason? Jose?
The reason why we said about technology, or
Yeah, we're talking about technology.
the reason why technology is helpful for students is because they can learn stuff on it.
Okay, so an example of that would be, I believe technology is helpful. Okay, so let's fill that in to our sheet. Helpful for students because what?
Because you can learn stuff on it.
You could learn in new ways. Yes.
The computer locked me out.
Okay. I believe. And then whatever you believe, helpful or harmful, right? For students. Because so Jose, what did you say? I believe okay, technology is helpful for students because okay. Because of new ways to learn, right? Okay. Yeah? We're good? Did you write the art? You have to follow along. We could do this after. Yeah, we're good? We'll do that after. So, the E in Oreo stands for what? Okay, good. Is it explain or is it example?
Example. I thought it was explain.
Okay, that's another, we could explain, okay? So, in this E, we're gonna support, our reason with an example. Right? So, what would we write for E?
Example.
Okay, good. And what is an example of E? Damien.
Technology can be helpful because they could learn stuff maybe like on biology.
Okay. But haven't we learned how to, like, isn't this kind of like when we're citing text evidence? So what's some, like, something that we've already learned that we can use to start that, to support our example?
It shows that according to the text, it shows
Technology
that technology is helpful
can be helpful for students because,
because they could learn stuff.
okay, so let's look at the example. So according to the text, or one example of technology being helpful for students is, so like think about the text that we talked about this past week. What was one example that they used that technology was helpful?
Like for like kids.
Yeah, do you remember? No? Do you wanna pull out your book and see? Okay. Does anybody else remember one thing that they talked about in the story that was helpful in the technology one? Junior, sit down please. Yes, they did.
They drew a pie chart.
Okay, what did they use to support that technology is helpful for students? Like what was one of the reasons they gave? Or an example?
They said that he said it's good for students because like so can you help on like their homework because teacher doesn't like think about something helpful.
Okay, so so because they are able to access their homework from home, is that why they think technology is helpful? So then how would you write that using these words or these starters? How would you use that?
So like one example is
Speak up.
one example is
example is students use technology.
To help them with their homework.
Good. Okay, so that's a great reason, right? That's a great example to support your reason that technology is helpful, right? Okay, that makes sense? So where would we write that? So, one example is,
Where are we writing it at?
so you guys just write in one of your empty boxes. Yeah. And then we'll switch them up later. So one example is that, what was that again? That students?
That students can use technology to help them with their homework.
Good. Okay. So that's what we're gonna use for reason, right? Okay, so we're ready?
Yes.
Okay, now let's go. So O's in Oreo is for our,
Opinion stated.
okay, good. So this time we're gonna restate our opinion, but this time we're gonna do it with feeling, okay? So an example of that is using words like strongly, right? What's another emotional word that we could use? Any ideas? Uriah?
Passionate?
Yeah. So we could say, for that reason, I'm very passionate that technology is helpful for students, right? What's another word? Anybody else? So here I use strongly, right? So for all those reasons, I strongly believe technology is helpful or harmful for students, right? So any other words that we could use? Victoria?
I highly believe.
Okay, good, yeah. Any other words? No, it's a emotion word. No, you have your hand up. Aiden?
Possibly said.
No. But do you guys understand how we're like basically rewriting what we stated in our first O? But this time we're gonna say like I believe this in my core. Like I know, like this is my opinion. Yes, you're right.
Encouraged?
Encourage? No. No. Okay, so we should be writing this example on our
On the bottom.
bottom, right? So is everybody writing that?
No.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes. Give me a thumbs up when you're done. So yes,
Bye.
ready? Make sure you're writing. Está escribiendo.
No.
regular Oreo to our double stuffed Oreo in opinion rating? Dawn, can you tell me? Can you take a guess? Thinking about what we just learned and looking at your paper of your notes, how do you think we get the center more filled? Let her answer. Give her a minute. You wanna take a guess? There's no wrong answers. No? Do you want Caesar to help you? Yeah? Caesar, how do you think?
Maybe like get the cream from another cookie and then put it in there.
Okay. Not really. But I want you guys to think of the strategy we just went over, okay? Looking at the strategy, your Oreo strategy, right? So O is for opinion, R is for reason, E is for example, O is for opinion restated. What things do we have to do to double stuff our Oreo? Yes, Sean?
Add more filling.
Okay. So, but how do we get more filling in our opinion rating? How do we get it?
Adding it.
Think about your strategy that we just did. How do we get it, Aiden?
By adding like more detail and like.
Okay, so what letters in our Oreo are that? Reason and what?
Example.
Okay, good. So how in opinion writing how we go from, are you guys listening? You guys listen? Yeah? Okay. So how we go from single stuff to double stuff is by giving our reason and then giving an example. And we do that more than once, right? So that's how we get to this instead of this, right? Does that make sense? Yeah? Okay. So now let's go to our food. Okay? Yes, go to your food. Okay, ready? Okay. So then log you out. Okay, is everybody on? Okay, so there's a game pin. I'm gonna give you 1 minute. Okay, 15 seconds. Okay, ready? So we're gonna basically go over our lesson, and I want you guys to measure your, yes. Ivan, what's going on? Okay. Let's get logged in.
1 more minute.
Ready, Ivan? Yeah? Okay, let's go. Good. A piece of writing that asks for your opinion is known as cause and effect, informative writing, annotated writing, or opinion writing.
What'd you say that? I said we want yours.
Good. Okay, let's see who's winning. Isaias.
Yes, sir.
Number 1. Ready? Okay. What is a strategy when doing opinion writing? 2-column notes, 3-column notes. Oreo, ask your partner for an opinion. So Oreo, right? That's what we just learned, right? So what is it? Opinion, R is for,
Reason.
E is for,
Example.
and O is for.
Opinion.
Good. Damien. Ready? The first O in Oreo stands for outstanding statement, opinion, state your opinion, opinion restated, or absurd. Alright. What's the difference between the first O and the last O? So the first O we just state our opinion, right? With the feeling, right? Okay, good. Damien, you're still winning. Okay, when doing the R and Oreo, we are giving reason for our opinion. Is that true or is that false? What was the strategy we used when stating reason? Caesar. No. I believe.
I believe.
Caesar's talking.
I believe technology is helpful to students
Because.
because we can learn different things.
Right. Good. See, Damien, you're still winning. Okay. Which of the following could be used for the E in Oreo? According to the text, one example is another reason. Where should we look if we need to, like, where in our room should we look if we need to look for text evidence or like sentence starters? Yes, Christopher? Good. And why are we using that? Because that's what we use for what? Writing. You guys, focus. We're still talking. For text evidence, right? Okay, good. You guys need to focus, okay? Okay.
Caesar. Yeah, let's go.
True or false? The second O in Oreo is just stating our opinion.
Go down.
Did you say that? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How'd you get this?
Wow, Caesar, look at you have the highest answer streak.
Caesar's crack.
At Fortnite, my
We don't talk about it. Okay, last one. What two steps do we repeat to make sure we have a double stuffed Oreo? R and E, O and R, first and second O, O and E.
I got it.
I got it. I think I got it.
Why R and E? Why R and E? Anissa, why? Look at your notes. You guys should be quiet. Why R and E? Hold on, let Anissa. Come on. What is R for? And what's E for? And so when we look at an Oreo, the O, the top O is the what? The cookie, right? The O is our opinion, and the bottom cookie is our what? You'll hear a lot of talking, there shouldn't be any talking. Our opinion restated, right? Okay, so then when we have, what's the middle part then? that's our reason and our example, right? That's the cream. So how do we get it double stuffed? By stating our reason and our example again, right? More than once. So that's how we get it double stuffed, right? Okay, let's see who won.
Caesar.
Okay, let's see. Elena, you're in third place. Damien. Okay, let's wait. Caesar. Good. Okay, so you guys will get chance tickets. Caesar, Damien. Okay, good. Okay, you guys can close your computers.
Wait, are we gonna do opinion writing?
Oh, yes. Yes, you will. So now, let's apply what we've learned. Okay, so I'm gonna pass out some paper. We are all gonna get double stuffed Oreos because we're gonna make stuffed, big chunky opinion writing. Jose. Okay. So now that we've learned, you need another one. Okay, let me get some more. Okay, do we need more? Who needs more? Raise your hand. Just pass it. That's it? You good? Thank you, sir. Okay. So now that we've applied let's apply what we learned, right? Let's go back to the question I asked you guys. You ready? Yeah? Okay. Should students be required to wear school uniforms? So, I'm not asking. Okay? So, what we're gonna do is we are gonna watch a YouTube video that's gonna give us both sides, right? It's gonna tell us the reasons why people believe that, Anissa, why people believe that school uniforms should be required, and then other reasons why they should not be required, right? Right? Okay, so before we do that, let's set up our 2-column notes. Okay, so I'm gonna get this video ready.
Chasing that A and want to save time on
Okay.
Hey, it's Dan Zimmerman. Welcome to Straight to Educate. Don't forget to subscribe for
We're gonna do 2-column notes. So, in our 2-column notes, this is how we should set them up, right? Yes. Good? Okay. So here is, I'm gonna write YouTube video. So right here we're gonna put 4 school uniforms on one side. And then against school uniforms. Okay? As you're listening to the video, I want you guys to take notes, okay? It's gonna start with the 4 side, and then we can move on to the, and then I'll pause it, give you a minute to catch up on your notes, and then we'll move on, okay? We'll probably do a few together. Sounds good?
Yes. Wait.
Yep.
Yes,
Good?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, I'm starting the video.
that's
Well,
very
Weekly objective videos on topics that matter. Should schools require students to wear uniforms? In this video, we'll dive into both sides of the debate. Before we get into the debate, let's briefly look at some of the statistics and history behind school uniforms. Currently, about 1 in 5 U.S. public schools require students to wear uniforms. The first use of a dress code in schools dates back to England in 1222, when the Archbishop of Canterbury mandated that students wear a robe-like outfit. In 1987, the first U.S. public schools began instituting uniform policies in Maryland and Washington, D.C. Although voluntary, almost all students wore the uniforms. In 1994, the first school district in the U.S. to require all students to wear uniforms was the Long Beach Unified School District in California. And in 1996, President Bill Clinton told Congress during his State of the Union speech that our public schools should be able to require their students to wear school uniforms. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of the arguments for requiring school uniforms. Those who support school uniforms say that it deters crime and increases student safety. Some studies have indicated drops in assaults, fighting incidents, robbery, vandalism, and possession of drugs. They also say that school uniforms also prevent students from concealing weapons under baggy clothing, that it is easier to track students on field trips, and makes intruders on school campuses more visible. Another argument in support of school uniforms is that it keeps students focused on their education, not their clothes. The National Association of Secondary School Principals stated that when all students are wearing the same outfit, they are less concerned about how they look and how they fit in with their peers. Thus, they can concentrate on their schoolwork. Other arguments in support of school uniforms is that it creates a level playing field among students and reduces peer pressure and bullying. It also reduces the competition between students over clothing choices and teasing of those who wear less expensive and fashionable clothes. In addition, it's said that school uniforms can enhance school pride, unity, and community spirit. Lastly, those who support school uniforms say that it can improve attendance and discipline within schools. University studies have shown that it has improved attendance rates by as much as 7% and decreased the amount of discipline referrals by as much as 74% in one study. Now let's look at arguments for those who are against school.
Okay. So now that we've listened to the arguments for, what are some things that you guys wrote down?
I got some.
Yes, Sean.
Wearing school uniforms can stop bullying because you can't bully each other because someone wears fancier clothes if you all wear the same clothes.
Good. Okay, so bullying is reduced. Bullying is reduced because students are all wearing the same clothes. Christopher, improves attendance. Good. Anybody else? One more? Caesar.
It's safe, more safe, cause they could be hiding a weapon under like baggy clothes or something.
Okay, so it improves safety? Okay, good. Jessica? A little more, yeah. Good? Okay.
I can see some.
Okay. Let's go back to the video.
Wait.
You can go back to the other one. So these are gonna be for the against. Ready?
School uniforms. One argument says that school uniforms restrict students' freedom of expression that is guaranteed in the First Amendment of the US Constitution. In Sweden, it was determined by a government agency that uniforms were a human rights violation because dress and appearance should be considered an individual expression decided by students themselves. Another argument against school uniforms says that it does not actually stop bullying and in some cases increases violence in schools. They point to a peer-reviewed study that found that school uniforms actually increase the number of assaults per year, while other studies found increases in discipline incidents and fights nearly doubling within 1 year. Other arguments say that school uniforms actually emphasize the socioeconomic divisions that they're supposed to eliminate. For example, 47% of high-poverty public schools require school uniforms versus 6% of low-poverty schools. Also, schools with a minority student population of 50% are 4 times more likely to require uniforms. Lastly, those against school uniforms say that uniforms can have a detrimental effect on students' self-image. When students have to wear the same outfits rather than being allowed to select clothes that suit their body types, they can suffer embarrassment at school. Specialists have said that students, especially girls, tend to compare how each other look in their uniforms, and this can have a negative effect on their self-perception. Did you enjoy this video looking into the argument?
Good. Okay. So, going back to our notes. Yes.
Sometimes school uniforms even cause more violence.
Good. So, studies have shown, right? That school uniforms can increase violence. Victoria, did you have your hand up? Yes.
I have another.
Okay.
It can make people have a bad self-image of themselves.
Good. Students may have an increased risk for self-image. Okay, one more. One, sorry.
It doesn't stop bullying.
Okay.
It's kind of what the first one said.
Yeah, that's kind of like violence and bullying. Okay. Anybody else? Ricardo? Anything you could think of that was against? You was it? No? Andrea, you can't think of anything? No? You gotta be ready. You gotta be ready. Are you ready? You, David, you have an idea?
I think that I don't know.
Tell me.
First in the video says that it says they're in freedom. Kind of something like that.
Oh yeah, it reduces freedom of speech, right? Okay, good, yeah. Why do you think that? Why do you think that they say that? Freedom of expression, right? That's what they said, freedom of expression?
We could wear like what they're actually like.
Yeah. For students, good, that's a good one. Okay, good.
Wait.
Can we give you another minute? Okay? Why aren't you ready? You gotta be ready. Okay, ready? Yes. Okay. So, we are going to take a few minutes and I'm gonna give you guys an article and using our gate annotation notes. Well, first I'm gonna split you guys up in two. Okay? So, this side, so from this row where I'm standing to the right, you guys are gonna be for school uniforms. Okay? So what I want you guys to do is right now I just want you guys to annotate using our gate. So remember details, patterns. I want you to think about the big idea. Okay, think about all those things when you're writing, when you're reading this, okay?
That side is for uniform.
This is 4. So you guys are 4 uniforms, okay? Take one, pass it back, take one, pass it back. So we should be really, really quiet, okay, while we're doing this. Okay? This side right here, you guys are gonna be against school uniforms, okay? So here are your articles. Go ahead and start reading them. Quietly annotating them. You have to pass them all back. You have extras, let me know. Yes. Okay, I'm gonna leave these notes up here now. So from now until we have to go to recess, please read this text. It's not time for recess yet. It's time to read. You have extras? I'll take them. Okay, let's start annotating that text, okay? You should be reading.